What you hear might shock you. There are certain things that you should absolutely never do for a woman. You want to meet a great woman, build an amazing connection, and have a love that lasts. But getting it right can sometimes feel like navigating a minefield. You might think you're doing all the right things, but some seemingly kind gestures could actually be sabotaging your chances at real, lasting love. In this video, we will talk about 10 things that you should never do for a woman if you want to have a healthy, mutually fulfilling relationship. Make no mistake, this isn't about disrespecting or mistreating women. It's about understanding what truly attracts them and creates a strong foundation for a lasting partnership. We're going to challenge some common dating advice and give you the tools to build authentic attraction and a relationship that stands the test of time. So get ready to take some notes, because by the end of this video, you'll have a whole new perspective on what it really takes to win a woman's heart and build a relationship based on respect, equality, and genuine connection. The first mistake you can make is putting a woman on a pedestal. It might seem chivalrous, even romantic, but it creates an imbalance from the start. When you put a woman on a pedestal, you place her above you, implying she's inherently superior and you're constantly striving for her validation. This dynamic isn't attractive. It puts unnecessary pressure on her to live up to an idealized image, and it diminishes you in the process. Think about it. Would you respect someone who constantly put you above them, as if they were unworthy? True attraction thrives on equality. You're both coming together as strong, confident individuals, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. Instead of putting her on a pedestal, focus on building a genuine connection. See her as your equal, someone you can laugh with, learn from, and share life's adventures with. Another common mistake men make is feeling the need to agree with everything a woman says. They think it makes them appear agreeable, even charming. But constantly nodding your head and echoing her every opinion actually backfires. First, it's inauthentic. You're a unique individual with your own thoughts, experiences, and perspectives. Trying to morph into someone you think she wants you to be is exhausting and ultimately unsustainable. Second, it makes you seem less interesting. Women are attracted to men with confidence and a strong sense of self. When you constantly agree, you come across as lacking conviction and depth. Remember, a little bit of friction can actually create sparks. Now, I'm not suggesting you pick fights or become argumentative. It's about having the confidence to express your own opinions respectfully, even if they differ from hers. Think about it. Wouldn't you rather be with a woman who challenges you intellectually, who introduces you to new perspectives, and who engages in stimulating conversations? Of course. When you're not afraid to disagree respectfully, you show her that you're not afraid to be yourself. You demonstrate that you have a mind of your own and that you're not afraid to use it. And that, gentlemen, is incredibly attractive. We've talked about not putting a woman on a pedestal and the importance of having your own opinions. Now, let's dive into another crucial aspect of attracting and keeping a high-quality woman in your life. Never hide your masculine essence. Many men mistakenly believe they need to suppress their natural masculinity to please women. They tone down their drive, ambition, and even their sense of humor, thinking it will make them appear more sensitive or nice. But here's the truth. Authenticity is magnetic. When you embrace your masculine core, your strength, your protectiveness, your ability to take charge, you become infinitely more attractive. You're not being aggressive or domineering, you're simply being your true, authentic self. Women are drawn to this authenticity because it signals confidence and self-assurance. It shows you're comfortable in your own skin, and that's incredibly sexy. Now, embracing your masculinity doesn't mean you can't be vulnerable or express your emotions. In fact, true strength lies in the ability to be both powerful and open. Think of it like this: a strong oak tree can weather any storm, yet its leaves still sway gently in the breeze. You can be the rock, the protector, the leader, while also being capable of expressing tenderness, empathy, and understanding. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, to show your true colors without reservation, you create a space for genuine connection. You invite her to do the same, to let down her guard and be her authentic self as well. Remember, a relationship built on anything less than authenticity is built on shaky ground. Embrace your masculinity, express your vulnerability, and watch as you attract a woman who appreciates you for the amazing man you truly are. We all know communication is key in any relationship, but when it comes to texting, there's a fine line between staying connected and bombarding her with messages. That's why my next piece of advice is crucial. Never over-text a woman. It might seem counterintuitive. You're excited about her, you want to talk to her, so naturally you want to keep the conversation flowing. But constantly texting can actually work against you, making you appear insecure and overly eager. Think about it. What happens when you flood a market with a product? Its value goes down. The same principle applies to your attention. When you're constantly texting, you diminish the value of your interactions. Instead of rapid-firing messages, focus on quality over quantity. Craft engaging texts that spark her interest and leave her wanting more. Remember, texting should be a tool to set up dates and interactions in the real world, not a crutch for building a connection. Use it to create intrigue, to build anticipation for your next meeting. Instead of mundane updates about your day, share something that genuinely excites you, a funny observation or a thought-provoking question. Make her feel like she's part of your world, but don't give it all away through text. And here's a pro tip: don't be afraid to let her initiate sometimes. It shows you're not waiting around with bated breath for her next message and that you have a life outside of your phone. Master the art of the well-timed, engaging text, and you'll keep her intrigued and wanting more. Gentlemen, we all love to shower our woman with compliments and appreciation. It's important to make her feel seen and valued. However, there's a fine line between genuine appreciation and excessive validation. That's why my next rule is crucial. Never validate a woman excessively. Constantly showering her with compliments, especially for things that don't truly impress you, can create an unhealthy dynamic. You risk appearing insincere or, even worse, like you're trying to win her approval. Remember, true confidence comes from within. A high-value woman doesn't need constant validation from a man to feel good about herself. She values authenticity and respects a man who has his own standards. Instead of showering her with empty flattery, focus on offering genuine compliments when they are deserved. Notice the things that truly impress you about her, her intelligence, her humor, her kindness, and acknowledge them in a way that feels genuine and heartfelt. Instead of generic compliments, be specific. Did she handle a difficult situation with grace? Did she make you laugh with her witty humor? Let her know what you appreciate about her, and your words will carry far more weight. Remember, your admiration should be a reward for her genuine qualities, not something you give freely to gain her approval. By finding the balance between appreciation and authenticity, You create a healthy dynamic where both of you feel respected and valued for who you truly are. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you're constantly bending over backwards for a woman only to feel unappreciated and taken advantage of? It's a frustrating and disheartening experience, isn't it? You, my friend, might be caught in the doormat dilemma. This is when you feel like you're being used as a stepping stone rather than being valued as an equal partner. It's a dangerous place to be because it erodes your self-respect and ultimately sabotages the potential for a healthy, fulfilling relationship. Over time, this can lead to a deep sense of dissatisfaction and unhappiness. Think of it this way: true attraction thrives on respect, both for yourself and for the other person. Mutual respect is the foundation of any strong and lasting relationship. When you constantly allow yourself to be walked all over, you're essentially saying, "My needs don't matter, and I'm willing to accept whatever scraps of attention you throw my way." This mindset can be incredibly damaging in the long run. This lack of self-respect can be a huge turn-off for women. They want to be with someone who values themselves and knows their worth. It suggests insecurity and a lack of backbone, qualities that don't exactly scream high-value man. Women are naturally drawn to strength and confidence. Women are naturally drawn to men who are confident, assertive, and capable of standing up for themselves. These traits signal that you are a person of value and integrity. So how do you escape the doormat dilemma? It starts with setting boundaries and understanding that it's perfectly okay to say no sometimes. Boundaries are essential for maintaining your self-respect. It starts with setting boundaries and understanding that it's perfectly okay to say no sometimes. Saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a person who values their own needs. Remember, you're not obligated to do everything a woman asks of you, especially if it compromises your own well-being or values. Your well-being should always be a priority. Setting boundaries isn't about being controlling or difficult. It's about communicating your needs and expectations clearly and respectfully. It's about creating a balanced dynamic. It's about saying, "This is what I'm comfortable with, and this is something I'm not willing to do." Open and honest communication is key. When you set boundaries, you demonstrate self-respect, and that's incredibly attractive. It shows that you know your worth and are not willing to settle for less. It shows a woman that you're not willing to be taken for granted and that you value your own time and energy. This can lead to a deeper level of respect and appreciation. Remember, a relationship is a two-way street. Both partners should be willing to give and take equally. Both parties should feel respected and valued. This mutual respect is what makes a relationship thrive. When one person constantly dictates the terms of engagement, it creates an imbalance that can lead to resentment and frustration down the line. Balance is crucial for long-term happiness. So stand your ground, gentlemen. Don't be afraid to assert your needs and desires. Set those boundaries with grace and confidence, and watch as your relationships transform into partnerships built on mutual respect and admiration. This is the key to a fulfilling and balanced relationship. We've all been there. Blinded by the initial excitement of a potential romance, we brush aside those subtle warning signs, those little red flags that whisper, "Proceed with caution." But ignoring these red flags is like ignoring the check engine light on your dashboard. You might get away with it for a while, but eventually it's going to catch up with you. The consequences are inevitable. So, how do you become a master red flag spotter? It starts with paying attention to your gut instinct. That little voice inside your head that says, "Something doesn't feel right." is rarely wrong. Red flags can manifest in various ways: inconsistent behavior, a lack of communication, disrespect towards others, or even an unwillingness to compromise. These are not mere quirks. They are potential indicators of deeper issues that could sabotage the relationship in the long run. Remember, you deserve to be with someone who shares your values, respects your boundaries, and enhances your life. Don't settle for someone who constantly sets off alarm bells in your mind. Now, spotting a red flag is one thing, but addressing it head-on is a whole other ball game. It requires courage, honesty, and a willingness to walk away if necessary. It's about valuing yourself enough to not settle for less. Start by communicating your concerns openly and directly with the person. Don't be afraid to have those uncomfortable conversations. Remember, you're not attacking her. You're simply expressing your feelings and observations. Pay close attention to how she responds to your concerns. Does she listen attentively and make an effort to understand your perspective? Or does she become defensive, dismissive, or even try to turn the tables on you? Her reaction will speak volumes about her character and willingness to work through challenges together. If you find that the red flags persist despite your efforts to address them, it might be time to reassess the viability of the relationship. Sometimes the best decision is to walk away for your own well-being. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, it's tempting to dive headfirst into the deep end of commitment. But when it comes to building a lasting, fulfilling relationship, patience is not just a virtue, it's essential. Think of it like building a house. You wouldn't erect the entire structure on a foundation of sand, would you? The same principle applies to relationships. Rushing into commitments before you've had a chance to truly get to know each other, to build a solid foundation based on trust, respect, and shared values, is a recipe for disaster. The slow burn, on the other hand, allows you to savor each stage of the relationship, to discover each other's layers gradually and authentically. It's about building anticipation, creating a sense of mystery, and allowing the connection to deepen organically over time. Remember, a relationship is a marathon, not a sprint. Take your time, enjoy the journey, and let the connection unfold naturally. Building a strong foundation takes time and effort. It requires open and honest communication, a willingness to be vulnerable with each other, and a shared commitment to working through challenges together. Don't be afraid to ask the important questions, to delve into each other's past experiences, dreams, and aspirations. Discover what makes each other tick, what ignites your passions, and what you envision for the future. Pay attention to how you interact with each other during stressful situations. Do you offer support and understanding, or do you resort to blame and criticism? The way you navigate challenges together will reveal a great deal about the strength and resilience of your bond. Remember, a relationship built on a foundation of trust, respect, and shared values is far more likely to withstand the inevitable storms of life. So, take your time, build that unbreakable bond, and watch as your connection flourishes into something truly special. We've talked about the importance of boundaries, of self-respect, and of not putting a woman on a pedestal. But there's another crucial element to all of this, something that keeps you grounded and reminds you who you are, your close friendships. These are the guys who've been there through thick and thin, the ones who know you inside out, who have seen you at your best and your worst. These friendships, they're not just about having fun, although that's a big part of it. They're about creating memories and building a shared history. They're about having a support system, a sounding board, a group of people who challenge you and help you grow. They offer perspectives that you might not have considered. When you neglect these friendships, you're essentially cutting yourself off from a vital part of who you are. You lose a piece of your identity. You become solely reliant on your romantic relationship for all your emotional needs. And that's a recipe for disaster. It creates an unhealthy dependency. No one person can be everything to you, and expecting that from your partner puts an unfair amount of pressure on the relationship. It can lead to resentment and frustration. Remember, a healthy relationship thrives when both individuals have a strong sense of self and a life outside of the relationship. It's about balance and mutual respect. Your friends remind you of who you are, what you stand for, and the kind of man you want to be. Don't underestimate their importance. They keep you grounded. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of a new relationship, to want to spend every waking moment with that person. But it's crucial to maintain your friendships. But trust me, maintaining your friendships is not a sign of disinterest in your partner. It's a sign of a well-rounded, mature individual. It's a sign of maturity and self-awareness. It shows that you value all aspects of your life. Think about it. When you were single, your friends were your wingmen, your confidants, your partners in crime. They were your support system. They helped you navigate the dating world, offered advice, and were there to pick up the pieces when things didn't work out. They were your rock. Don't let those bonds fade just because you're in a relationship. Keep those connections strong. Schedule regular guys' nights, even if it's just grabbing a beer after work or catching a game on the weekend. These moments are invaluable. These interactions are crucial for your well-being and the health of your relationship. They provide a necessary balance. Remember, a man who values his friendships shows a woman that he's not clingy or needy. He demonstrates independence. He's someone who understands the importance of balance and has a life outside of the relationship. That's incredibly attractive and essential for a healthy partnership. We've talked about a lot of nevers in this series, but this one might be the most important of all. Never compromise your fundamental values for a woman, or for anyone for that matter. Your values are your non-negotiables, the principles that guide your decisions and shape your character. They're the things you believe in deeply, the things that make you, you. Maybe it's honesty, integrity, ambition, a strong work ethic, or a commitment to personal growth. Whatever your values are, hold on to them fiercely. When you compromise your values for someone else, you're essentially betraying yourself. You're saying that your needs and beliefs aren't as important as theirs, and that's a recipe for resentment and unhappiness down the line. Remember, a woman who truly respects and values you will respect your values as well. She'll understand that these principles are a part of who you are, and she won't ask you to compromise them. Now, this doesn't mean you should be inflexible or unwilling to compromise in a relationship. There's a difference between compromising on minor preferences and compromising on your core values. For example, you might prefer Italian food while she prefers Thai, but that's something you can easily compromise on. However, if your value is honesty and she's constantly asking you to lie for her or cover up her mistakes, that's a major red flag. Or, if you value hard work and she's content with coasting by, that difference in values can create friction and resentment over time. Remember, a relationship built on a foundation of shared values is much more likely to stand the test of time. When you and your partner are aligned on the things that matter most, you're able to navigate challenges together and build a life that feels authentic and fulfilling for both of you. So, there you have it, gentlemen. 10 things you should never do for a woman if you want to build healthy, fulfilling relationships. We talked about the dangers of putting her on a pedestal, the importance of maintaining your own opinions and embracing your masculinity. We discussed the pitfalls of overtexting, excessive validation, and ignoring red flags. Remember, setting boundaries, respecting yourself, and staying true to your values are not just about attracting the right woman. They're about becoming the best version of yourself. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more dating and relationship advice. Let me know in the comments which never resonated with you the most, or maybe you have your own never to add to the list. Don't forget to check out my other videos on building confidence, mastering your dating life, and becoming a high-value man. Thanks for watching, and remember, you are worthy of a love that respects and values you for who you truly are. Now, go out there and get the girl of your dreams.